everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering the Mecha anime SSSS Gridman.
Or as I call it,
Gridman. Yeah, that's what I like to call it.
Now, based in the Ultraman Universe, this anime focuses on Yuta Hibki.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, we gotta make sure.
Say Yuta, who is suffering from amnesia, but he can see Kaiju before they appear. And on top of that, he discovers he can turn into the mecha superhero Gridman. And he combats these monsters together with his friends, uncovering the secret behind the Kaiju and the Gridman.
Yes. And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and we'll pause videos.
Yes, and hopefully we've heard that this series is returning, so hopefully the second season of Gridman.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like a spin-off or something, because this is actually a pretty short series. It's only 12 episodes, and by the end, it's like, okay, is someone else gonna be this character? We're gonna focus on a new. I think we're supposed to do like a spin-off or something next year.
And we weren't sure if we were gonna like it. You know how much we love Toonami, and so they actually added Gridman to the lineup. And it's like, hey, we don't know what it's about, we've never seen it, but hey, it's gonna be on here. It's free. Let's watch it.
Yeah, and we were a little confused on it at first, because this is part of they got a Gundam series or Ultraman series, and there's always something new every time. So when this one was sort of taking from there like its own little spin-off. So other besides from seeing the one of the first Ultraman series, we really didn't know too much on where this was gonna go. We just knew, okay, you can turn into Gridman, and that's really it. You understand why? We just had to figure out everything as it went along. We got some things right and some not so much, because what's uncovered is pretty big.
Yes, and the characters are actually different from characters we've seen in the anime.
Right.
And the way it starts off is pretty hard, because in the first episode you find out, as you said, he can see Kaiju, and the Kaiju attacks, and then when they wake up the next morning, people have actually died. They've disappeared, they're gone, and then everyone but the three of this trio, they don't even remember that people even actually existed.
Right.
They're like, what the heck
And
is
if they
going on?
did, they've been gone, and they've never heard or seen the Kaiju. It's like it never happened.
Right. They're like, what the heck is going on? So yeah, it really started off with a big mystery. It hit hard, and you already had, mystery and death going on in the first episode.
Right.
And then that continued on for the first few episodes, and you were like, what is going on? When are we going to find out what's going on? They kept giving you a little bit of sliver of information here and a hint there, but never giving you enough to figure out what was going to happen.
Right. And this wasn't a shonen type or anything where it follows the traditional, what we've seen them traditionally do with these types of stories. They really leave you in the dark, and no one really acts like happy-go-lucky all the time or anything. They just kind of act pretty reserved, unless it had to do with some of their favorite things. They were pretty mild characters. There were no crazy expressions or fun, crazy filler episodes or wacky things. They may say some funny lines, but they kept it pretty level-headed. This is probably the most level-headed anime, and it wasn't one of those slice of life.
It definitely wasn't a slice of life.
No, it wasn't. There was still some excitement going on and uncovering, what was going on with these kaijus, especially when they had one that just kept coming back over and over and had the powers like Gridman. And Gridman always communicates through Yuta on what they call it junk. It's a computer, but it looks so old and retro, they call it junk.
It looks like it's from the early 80s or the late 70s when
Right.
they first started having those personal.
Right, which is probably the reference to like when Ultraman first came out. Like, this is what we watched
Well,
it
actually,
on.
Ultraman, the original, which we actually did a podcast on, came out in the 60s. So no, from what I remember, if we were taught properly in history, the computers were big as like a giant wall unit. So this is more like when they first started out having the, let me see, can I remember the brand? Gosh, I can't even remember. It's been so long ago, and it's really history. But there's a company that started with those little computers that look just like the one they had in the anime.
Right.
So I think that's what they were referencing.
Right. And as it goes on, there's actually points where when they stop a person from getting taken out in when the attack
Might have
happens.
been Hewlett Packard, I'm not sure.
Okay. There's a point where they actually start changing what happens. Like, there's something wrong. Like, why can't they contact anyone outside the city? Like, where are his parents? Which you find out where they are later. But you kind of have these instances where something's not right. Like, they're isolated in this own city. They even have this point where they actually save a guy from getting taken out by a kaiju. You know why he got taken out, but you knew it was coming. And once he saved him, the memory wasn't gone. He actually had changed his attitude, and they changed what was happening within the city already. And that's when things started going a whole nother direction. When the people that they're being targeted weren't taken out, the people not only changed, but the memory started to change, and they started remembering certain things and finding out something wasn't right.
And then also in the beginning, within the first 4 to 5 episodes, there's this character who's like, you think she's the mean girl, Akane. And Akane is, I wouldn't say friends, is this kid that looks like Akane that she treats him like dirt, and you don't understand why this kid allows her to treat him like dirt. She throws food at him. So, oh, I know you're hungry, and she throws food at him, and he eats like a dog, and you're like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, what's this
dynamic, you know?
You're like, I want to know what this is.
But you find out later what it really is about, and you're like, oh my gosh. But I have to say, this anime didn't fail to keep you in suspense, and it didn't fail to surprise you and have a lot of action that had you on the edge of your seat, and you were wondering if Gridman was going to win or not. And then you got to see the introduction of other characters who come along and help Gridman. It's like Voltron.
Right. And heck, there was a time where Gridman didn't win, and it was scary.
But in the end, the way that it ends wasn't expected.
Right. It's a
and
little...
the mysteries all being solved come rushing in the last couple episodes.
Right.
You even have some danger of some of the main characters dying. We're not going to tell you if they did or not. But all in all, it was an anime that was interesting and kept you on the edge of your seat and kept us coming back each week.
Yeah.
We didn't know if we were going to like it.
Right.
We do like it, and it's only our second mecha anime we've watched besides Gen Lock.
Right. And we would see some more mecha anime because we see stuff like Gundam and things be world renowned for decades, like with Voltron. So wouldn't mind seeing more anime like this because you see it inspires a lot of people when they make their own shows.
So that being said, if you have any mecha anime you want to recommend to us, let us know in the comments below. We have Hulu now with over 200 anime series, so if we can find it on there, then we can watch it and do a podcast.
Yes. So be sure to like, subscribe, and click notification bell to get updates to future podcasts and more to pause video.
And if you have seen Gridman, either on Tsunami or you saw it before when it originally aired or on DVD, let us know what you think of this series in the comment below. If you're looking forward to either another season or, as Rascal says, spin-off.
Seems like it's going to be a spin-off.
Let us know if you're excited for that as well.
Right. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you want to do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. Hit her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams, plucking sunlight from the sky